and most of it relating to current events in WoW and reporting on it. First up, we have SoulSoBreezy.
Hey, so how about that? We got a bump from Hirumaredx himself.
Hey, this is bullcrap, man. He didn't give me one mention at all.
Okay, well, think of it this way. If he did mention you, no one would come.
Oh, wait, hey, that's even more messed up.
No, my little friend, that's reality.
Yeah, well, at least I don't trade nudes online behind my wife's back.
Damn.
Or be a pedophile, or cut my sandwiches diagonally.
You know, you don't have a wife, and you're always naked.
Oh my god, I am naked.
Hey, it's Soul, and this is Warcraft Weekly. Ooh, we're still several weeks away from patch 8.2, but things are looking more and more complete, giving us a clearer picture of what's to come when we face off against the unsurprisingly evil Queen Ashara.
I don't know. I can't decide what to complain about. Is it the endless grind for artifact power, or is it the easy welfare gear I can just get from playing puzzles?
Ah! What the dude, get that away.
What's with you?
It's a long story. I'm gonna get some water.
Alright, this is it. It's time for a chair stream. And then?
It's a story that I'd rather not tell, okay? News time. Recruit a Friend is done, at least for now. The service that let you level with friends for boons, aka the service that you doubled up with Black Friday sales to buy a cheap WoW account and then use it to get yourself a mount, is going on hiatus, while the system goes through a revamp. Why it has to stop in the meantime, I can't say for sure, because, well, maybe if the system did change all of a sudden, there'd be complaints all over the place. Like, hey, I just did this thing the other week and then now it changed, F you Blizz, or something like that. Recruiter Friend is going to be paused June 11th, so get your mount. Nerfs are coming to the 3 bosses in Season 2, namely Jaina, Restless Cabal, and Unat, because apparently the other bosses don't matter. Now this is typical of pretty much any and every tier that's come before it, but these 3 bosses were somewhat exceptional in their difficulty. Here's a snapshot of the Mythic Hall of Fame, and you can direct your prayers to the Alliance. One like is one prayer. The good folks over at Wowhead released one of your favorite tools of theirs, their guide to class changes as we go through this patch cycle.
What do you mean by your favorite? Isn't it yours?
No, I mean, take a look at Paladins. Like, they still have Ret Aura? God, take this away. As time goes by, information will be filled out on this page for all classes, I hope, showing off changes as well as developer notes so you can be satisfied or dissatisfied with their explanations. A link is available below for you to bookmark, and as a word of advice, you probably want to avoid the comments. A new PTR build came in this week, which comes to the surprise of nobody, but it left a really big drop.
Haha, drops.
Whatever. Oh, and here's a shameless plug. I'm going to provide a link somewhere below and then up here if you want to watch a quick feature where I talk about the weapons of Mechagon that you can use throughout the zone so you too can survive Judgment Day. So, Mechagnomes. Cute, squirmy,
and inferior to my greatness.
Since their announcement back at Blizzcon, the allied race flags have been waving in both support and denial of these halflings. WoW had already featured a robust selection of customization options shortly after 8.2 PTR build started coming in, but this build gave them a brand new dance.
It's not technically new. The robot can be referenced as early as the 1920s.
It's a new dance, Bob. In WoW.
Say it, don't spray it.
Anyway, this is a pretty big freaking deal. It's a new dance for a character model that's very familiar to WoW. By contrast, the Vulpera, who've been around since the start of Battle for Azeroth, and were also expected to be an upcoming allied race, still have no dance, let alone a new one. So if this isn't strong enough of an indicator that Robo-Gnomes are going to be an upcoming allied race, I don't know what is. 2 questions remain. One is when. It's not like Blizzard has to add them in immediately. Even if there's a reputation, a fully working model, a dance, and that patch 8.2 will let you hide transmog to where you can see the Mechagnome skeleton, Blizzard just might save it for an opportune time. Which will of course feed into the typical conspiracy theory that WoW releases content at dubious times, like coinciding expansion releases with other game releases, and pressing the emergency button when the MAU has gone down to like infinity minus whatever. But more and more, this is looking to be a question not of if, but when. So with that in mind, if you are interested in possibly having them as an allied race, you might be compelled to get your reputation up with the upcoming Metal Gnome factions just in case. But wait, both the Horde and Alliance can wrap up with this faction, which leads to the second question. What faction might they join?
What kind of stupid-ass question is that?
The kind that gets clicks and comments. It's not really a spoiler, but the Mechagnomes don't really give a hoot about the faction conflict. They just want to stop King Mechagon from initiating Judgment Day. They also have no problems working alongside goblins, who are often their adversaries. So, after all these conflicts are over, when the battle for Azeroth is concluded and we're slaves to the gods of the light and the void, where will they stand? Okay, it's almost certain they're going to join the Alliance, come on, duh. The Horde are going to get the Fox people, cheers and riots are going to happen, and we move on with our lives. But what if the Mechagnomes were a neutral allied race, like the Pandorine? Did I? I just said Pandorine. Can the Mechagnomes be a neutral allied race, like the Pandaren? The stage is set for that to be at least a remote possibility, but let me know what you think in the comments.
Because he's a monster and compels you to react.
In the previous PTR build, we were introduced to Benthic armor, gear that you can find or purchase in Nazjatar that can be upgraded to item level 430, which is the same as heroic raiding gear. I raised a few concerns about how this invalidates crafting professions and pretty much any content outside of Nazjatar. Basically what you do is at the start of this patch, you farm up as much prismatic monopearls as you can across all of your alts. Use these pearls to buy upgrade kits, which are all account bound, and then funnel them to the character of your choice for some insane gearing. It comes to no surprise that many of you in the comments expressed support for this kind of system, that this is great for alt and those who are not interested in raiding or Mythic Plus. And I agree. There are many WoW players out there who just want to log in and hang out, doing things at their own pace, who still want to have something to work towards. Just because there's a path to gear up does not mean that everyone has to or is going to do it. Which brings up one more thought that probably doesn't concern the more casual players out there. I think you're fine. I'm talking to the world of the faceless pugs, to those of you who are already fighting to up that item level or that Raider IO score, not just because it'll make your character stronger in the process, but because those scores matter so freaking much.
415 and all mythic chest gear. Not in my Mythic Champs run, son.
In the world of Warcraft and a lot of areas in gaming, possibility equates to expectation. There's always the concern that you as a character won't be acknowledged until you obtain a certain item level, a score, an achievement, whatever. This isn't any different, but with Benthic gear as it is right now, players trying to get into the Pugs are going to feel forced to grind their faces off and funnel armor kits in order to get into groups. Every other method of gear risks being invalidated.
430 in all Nazjatar gear, not in my Mythic Champs run, son.
Good point. Maybe my concerns won't mean much, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, and I'd love to know what you think, person sitting on the loo. Over the past week came the long-awaited sales of the Blizzcon ticket. Over the past several months, though, Blizzard and its parent company have been battered by one thing after another. Layoffs, issues with the Battle for Azeroth, the direction of the World of Warcraft, amputating Heroes of the Storm, Diablo Immortal, etc. The latest being the partnership between Blizzard and Axis, a ticket-selling app that you'll more than likely need to have running just to get your badges at this year's BlizzCon.
And it's apparently Satan.
Yeah, it's definitely Satan. I mean, never mind the fact that Blizzard has been using Access since 2017, but hey, now that the World of Warcraft is involved, now we're on the case. With all the negative news that has surrounded Blizzard, it might have crossed your mind that, hey, maybe this year's BlizzCon will be a total bust and tickets will be given away at your local radio show or something. Not. It was sold out within minutes. But I got tickets for me and my whole crew, so woohoo to me. But now that BlizzCon ticket sales are over, Access finally allowed the transfer of tickets through its application. There are two methods to do it. One is like a normal transfer, which I bet is going to be the method of choice. All you have to do is fill out some information and the email address of the person that you're giving the ticket to. The receiving person checks the email, verifies the transfer, and it's done. Somewhere between that might be the exchange of money, goods, WoW gold, whatever, but that's between them. The other sanctioned method is to sell your ticket through Axis itself. It's pretty much like selling on eBay, where you can set your own price, put it up for auction, and a person simply buys it. And just like eBay, Axis takes a cut of however much you sold it for, because who doesn't do that these days? What's more though, is that Axis adds a reselling fee on top of that. So anyone who's buying a resold ticket through Axis is going to pay an extra 20 some odd % for a ticket. Damn. That's pretty messed up considering that everything being done is electronic. It's not like the ticket is physically going anywhere. It's still staying in Axis's hands. It's just a matter of whose name is on it, and then they're going to charge a crap ton of money just to... It's messed up. And that's what option 1 is for. For those of you out there who are still trying to buy tickets, you can check out WTBlizzcon.com. It was formerly LF BlizzCon before one of the ex-moderators was busted in a pedophile sting, and the site admins wanted to distance themselves away from it and so rebranded the site.
What?
But it's still a reliable spot. Your best bets, in my opinion, is to join their Discord channel. That's how I sold a few extra tickets that I had from last year. The exchange was pretty painless, and the site has a rule to not sell tickets above the original price plus fees. And everyone was happy, so check out the links to that below. That pretty much takes care of the show this week.
But you didn't talk about Sylvanas this week.
No, I did not, because when I tried writing it, it sucked. It sucked so much I just kind of threw it out and all that. Yeah, I have some integrity.
No, you don't.
Yeah, whatever. One more very big thanks to Hirumaredx for giving me a nudge over on his WoW YouTuber feature video. I'm gonna have a link to that video below so you can check out some other great WoW content creators, and Hiro he's okay too. As always, I strongly encourage that you like the video if you enjoyed yourself, and to subscribe to the channel for more 8.2 previews and upcoming guides, all other things Warcraft, and stuff that I haven't quite made my mind up on yet. Also, consider becoming a patron. $1 a month will pretty much equate to coffee, and a man's gotta live, you feel me? As for Bob, he runs off of gas, and gas is pretty expensive these days, so too bad for him.
No.
Thank you tons for coming though, and we'll see you next week. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.